Hello again, everybody. It is Fethend here, and I know I said I was probably going to do it off camera, but I changed my mind. We're just going after Blackwall's caches real quick, and then we're going to head to Redcliffe. We're going to talk to some agents. Oh, there it is.
I think Blackwall would have liked to have been here for this.
Yeah, well, I don't really care what Blackwall would have liked. There's just the two of them in the hinterland, so it shouldn't take you more than a moment if, like me, you took forever to unlock Blackwall. You just fast travel to the right camp and then get your cache. Why is this travel taking so long? There we go. It was a little southwest of us at this fort over here. So if you'll remember last time, we unlocked a couple companions. Now we have Blackwall and Iron Bull, two more warriors. And we talked to the mages who are being basically enslaved by the Tevinter Imperium. It's not really cool. Oh, we also learned that the Tevinter Imperium folk are doing not blood magic, time magic. Is that not a Hinterlands quest? Oh, I have to go to the war room for that. Okay, that changes a lot. Sorry, I actually did stop playing last episode. Even though I wanted to keep going, I had some other things I had to take care of, and I kind of forgot I was trying to leave you guys with a cliffhanger of, well, now we just got to go to the war room to continue this quest. And then I went to the Hinterlands. But we're on our way back now, so just got to make our way up there. And we'll return Blackwall stuff later. Or we'll just run into everything on our way. Such a long run to get to the War Council table. I feel like it should spawn me in the Chantry. Or at least that little tent right outside where the provisions person is. Ooh, we got a couple missions over here. Choose successor in lines and utilize the Grey Warden treaties. That is definitely a Josephine job.
Let us begin.
And this also sounds like a Josephine job. It's pretty harsh there, don't you think? We'll just choose Cullen, because the time frame doesn't really matter. I don't check my table all that often, because there's no real reason to. Hello, how long have I had this mission here? Unfortunately, I think I need to use a follower for this. No, I don't. Well, shoot. If I'd have known I had a mission available right there, I'd have sent them out on it ages ago.
Let's see what we have.
So, Hushed Whisper. So I actually have to choose because of this note right there. But the Templar story seemed really abrupt to that point. There was like no lead in, and the mages got the cool time magic.
Power to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an obvious trap.
We can't waste time fighting among ourselves. We have to come to an agreement.
A Tevinter Magister controls Redcliffe, invites us to the castle to talk, and some of us want to do nothing.
Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die, and we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
And if we don't even try to meet Alexius, we lose the mages and leave a hostile foreign power on our doorstep.
Even if we could assault the keep, it would be for naught. An Orlesian Inquisition's army marching into Ferelden would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
The Magister...
Has outplayed us.
We can't just give up. There has to be something we can do.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Yeah, I'd say contact
Where's
the
the
R.
Earl of Redcliffe? I'm sure he'd help us get his castle back.
After he was displaced, Arl Tegan rode straight for Dunrim to petition the crown for help. I doubt he'll want our assistance once the Ferelden army lays siege to his castle.
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
Focus their attention on Trevelyan, while we take out the Tevinters. It's risky, but it could work.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
Your spies will never get past
We met him in
Alexis's
the last
magic
episode.
without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
It still seems like the cooler story. I have to do it. The fact that I'm like 3 levels over leveled for it isn't exact. Oh, I have to take Dorian? Well, what is he? He's a mage. Okay. Oh, I need a rogue. Take Cassandra or Solus? I'm taking Cassandra. I can live one fight without Solus. I actually didn't do any research on a Dorian. I'm gonna have to do some research, see if he'd actually be a good guy to bring along instead of Solus. Or if that'd even be a good choice.
Announce us.
The Magister's invitation was for Mistress Trevelyan alone. The rest will wait here.
If my friends can't enter, then I won't go in either.
Sass. Always bring a mage, a rogue, and a warrior, guys. At least one of each, anyway.
My Lord Magister, the agents of the Inquisition have arrived.
My friend, it's so good to see you again. And your associates, of course. I'm sure we can work out some arrangement that is equitable to all parties.
Are we mages to have no voice in deciding our fate?
Fiona, you would not have turned your followers over to my care if you did not trust me with their lives.
If the Grand Enchanter wants to be part of these talks, then I welcome her as a guest of the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
I really want to say nothing, just because it's the perfect sassy response.
Nothing at all. I'm just going to take the mages and leave.
And how do you imagine you'll accomplish such a feat?
She knows everything, Father.
Felix, what have you done?
You wanted me here. Why?
Do you know what you are? You walk into my stronghold with your stolen mark, a gift you don't even understand, and think you're in control. You're nothing but a mistake.
If I'm a mistake, what exactly was the breach supposed to accomplish?
It was to be a triumphant moment for the Elder One, for this world.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliche everyone expects us to be.
Dorian, I gave you a chance to be a part of this. You turned me down. The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
That's who you serve? The one who killed the Divine? Is he a mage?
Soon, he will become a god. He will make the world bow to mages once more. We will rule from the Boric Ocean to the frozen seas.
You can't involve my people in this.
Alexius, this is exactly what you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father.
I saw that.
Give
The
up
guy
the
got
control.
assassinated in the
Let
back.
the Southern Mages fight the breach, and let's go home.
No, it's the only way, Felix. He can save you.
Save me.
There is a way. The Elder One promised if I undo the mistake at the temple.
I'm going to die. You need to accept that.
Seize them, Venatori. The Elder One demands this woman's life.
Your men are dead, Alexius.
You are a mistake. You should never have existed.
Portals. Now you're thinking with portals. Where'd I go? I can only assume if they're going to put me in a loading screen after that, I got portaled somewhere. Okay,
Blood of the Elder
in
One.
the basement.
Where'd they come from?
Okay. Oh, jeez. Bad guys.
Displacement. Interesting. It's probably not what Alexius intended. The rift must have moved us to what? The closest confluence of arcane energy?
The last thing I remember, we were in the castle hall.
Let's see. If we're still in the castle, it isn't. Oh, of course, it's not simply where, it's when.
Of course it
Alexius
is.
used the amulet as a focus. It moved us through time.
That doesn't sound good.
It sounds terrible. Depending on when we are and what happened while we were away. Let's look around, see where the rift took us. Then we can figure out how to get back. If we can.
What was Alexius trying to do?
I believe his original plan was to remove you from time completely. If that happened, you would never have been at the Temple of Sacred Ashes or mangled his Elder One's plan. I think your surprise in the castle hall made him reckless. He tossed us into the rift before he was ready. I countered it. The magic went wild, and here we are. Make sense?
Not really.
It just seems so insane.
I don't even want
Time
to think
magic
about what this
isn't
would
a
do to
thing
the
in
fabric of
Dragon
the world.
Age.
We didn't travel through time so much as punch a hole through it and toss it into the privy. But don't worry. I'm here. I'll protect you.
There were others in the hall. Could they have been drawn through the rift?
I doubt it was large enough to bring the whole room through. Alexius wouldn't risk catching himself or Felix in it. They're probably still where and when we left them. In some sense, anyway.
Alexius mentioned an Elder One in the hall. Do you know who he was
I
talking
think
about?
I might know who an Elder
Leader
One
of the
would be.
Venatori, I suspect. Some magister aspiring to godhood. It's the same old tune. Let's play with magic we don't understand. It will make us incredibly powerful. Evidently, it doesn't matter if you rip apart the fabric of time in the process.
You have a plan to get us back, I hope.
I have some thoughts on that. They're lovely thoughts, like little jewels.
He's not going to tell me what the thoughts are? Okay. Prison key. So, my thoughts on what the Elder One might be. You remember the archdemons I mentioned? That lead the Blights? Those are old gods, basically. And the old gods themselves, I don't know, like, correct me if I'm mistaken on this, but there were 7 original magisters who are the ones that broke into the Golden City, thus corrupting it into the Black City. Those became the old gods, and I'm assuming the Elder One is one of them. But instead of being woken up... Whoa! My game crashed! Well, I'm sorry about that, guys. Give me just a moment here and I'll bring you that back up. Sorry about that, we're back now. I don't rightly know what happened, I just had a sudden crash to desktop there. But, considering how much of this game I've played, and that was the first one I got, I guess I can't really complain too much. Something I did forget to do, though, is we have a Dorian to give abilities for. And because I can, I'm basically going to build him exactly the same way that... I'm blanking out on his name now. Solus was. Just because I know it turned out to be really effective for Solus, and I like Barrier. So I'm gonna go up the left door this time since the right one crashed me. I doubt it's gonna make any difference, but looks like they both will round about the same way, so go ahead and give him this amulet. Well, no, cunning does basically nothing for mage, so.
Alexius has made a dreadful mess of this place, hasn't he?
I didn't see this part of the castle.
It was covered in the tackiest carvings of wolves and dogs I'd ever seen. This is not
So
an
they
improvement.
don't connect. You know, I would be a little more concerned about, I think it's red lyrium. It looks like red lyrium everywhere. I mean, that stuff is bad. And it's just everywhere. That's what I would be a little more worried about. Not so much that it used to be tacky. On the wall, some kind of ritual going on right there. That's a lot of bones. A lot of bones. Oh, hey. Lysis. That sounds familiar.
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me. My tears are my sins, my sins, my sins. Andraste guide me, Andraste guide me.
Lisas. Hello? Do you remember me?
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me.
Yeah, I'm completely mad. He was one of the mages in the tavern, I'm pretty sure. Bag. And he's obviously completely lost it since then. Not that one from there. I'll get that one this way. You're next. Man, this castle is super spooky now. There's just bones and skeletons everywhere. Plus all the red lyrium. That's not good either. Looks like all my gear are in this area. Oh, hey, it's Varric. I know him.
Andraste Sacred Knickers, you're alive.
Well, that's not how you're supposed to sound.
How did you escape?
We didn't escape. Alexius sent us into the future.
Everything that happens to you is weird.
You don't look so good, Varric. What happened?
Bite your tongue. I look damn good for a dead man.
You're no more dead than we are.
The not dying version of this red lyrium stuff? Way worse. Just saying.
We get to Alexius, and I just might be able to send us back to our own time. Simple, really.
That may not be as easy as you think. Alexius is just a servant. His Elder One assassinated the Empress and led a demon army in a huge invasion of the South. The Elder One rules everything. What's left of it, anyway. Alexius is really not the one you need to worry about.
I promise you, Varric, we'll make sure none of this happens.
I'm pretty sure you're crazy. Or I'm crazy. Either way, it's a nice thought. You want to take on Alexius? I'm in. Let's go.
He's all red and glowy and echoey. It's not right. Why didn't that get pinged? I should have been close enough for that. I think. Anyone in these cells? No? Okay.
The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world. and into the
Cassandra.
next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. You've returned to us. Can it be? Has Andraste given us another chance? Maker, forgive me. I failed you. I failed everyone. The end must truly be upon us if the dead return to life.
You look wounded. Maybe we can help.
Nothing you do can help me now. I'll be with the Maker soon.
Alexius sent us forward in time. If we find him, we may be able to return to the present.
Go back in time. Then, can you make it so that none of this ever took place?
That's my hope.
None of this will happen. Andraste, please let that be true.
Man, she just...
Alexius locked himself in the throne room. That is where we'll find him.
I feel really bad for Cassandra right now. Like, oh man, that just, no. This is where I got Varric, right? Yeah, that's the Varric room. I mean, Varric was all, yeah, bad things happened, and Cassandra's all, I don't want this, I don't like this, make it stop. Cassandra's the one that's supposed to be tough. If you know, well, I mean, you know what I mean. What kind of staff is Dorian using? Oh, I need Dorian. 37 fire. This whole place is falling apart. Enchanter Fiona.
You're alive. I saw you disappear into the rift.
red lyrium growing from your body. How?
The longer you're near it, eventually you become this. Then they mine your corpse for more.
Can you tell us the date? It's very important.
Harvest Mia. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
We have to get out of here. Go back in time.
Please, stop this from happening. Alexius serves the Elder One, more powerful than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
I promise I will do everything in my power to set things right.
Our only hope is to find the amulet that Alexius used to send us here. If it still exists, I can use it to reopen the rift at the exact spot we left. Maybe.
Good.
I said, maybe. It might also turn us into paste.
You must try. Your spy master, Leliana. She is here. Find her. Quickly. Before the Elder One learns you're here.
I checked all the cells.
Infection. Why is it coming out of the walls?
Are you sure you want to find out?
I'm not savvy on you guys getting mages.
Nice to do something constructive for a change.
Just like old times.
Take a look around. See if there's anything we can use.
That's pretty much what I'm doing. Supply cache restores my potions. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. Like I said, I thought it might be that he is one of the old gods, but based on that line, I'm not so sure. Need to open the supply cache. I haven't used any potions. Go ahead and give him that staff. Pretty noteworthy upgrade for him. Ooh. Is that an upgrade for her? I don't think so, right? No. Looks awesome, though. I should have read that. Just to see what's going on. Oh well. It is what it is. Torture chambers.
Still doesn't make him a god.
There is no god but the Elder One. The Maker is dead. Say it.
no fair. I had my shield wall up in time.
May she find peace at the Maker's side.
I wonder if I could have saved her if I got here faster. But no, I chose to stay at the door.
How did Trevelyan know of the sacrifice at the temple?
Not letting it happen this time.
I will die first. Or you will. You're alive.
Reminds me of a ghoul from Fallout.
You're safe now.
Forget safe. If you came back from the dead, you need to do better than safe. You need to end this. Do you have weapons? Good. The Magister's probably in his chambers.
You aren't curious how we got here?
No.
Alexius sent us into the future. This, his victory, his Elder One, it was never meant to be.
I need to find Alexius and reverse the spell.
If we can get back to our present time, we can prevent this future from ever happening.
And mages always wonder why people fear them. No one should have this power.
It's dangerous and unpredictable. Before the breach, nothing we did.
Enough. This is all pretend to you. Some future you hope will never exist. I suffered. The whole world suffered. It was real.
Okay.
What happened while we were away?
Stop talking.
I'm just asking for information.
No, you're talking to fill silence. Nothing happened that you want to hear.
Liliana got angry. I mean, they broke Cassandra. They left Liliana as nothing but rage.
I'm sure he'll be in the nicer part of the
This obviously did not go right. You're going to want to take a step forward. In. Dispel. Let's go ahead and get these two then. Just a bunch of wraiths, nothing to worry about then. My guys don't use spinning blades. Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, they got Cassandra broken and just defeated sounding. Liliana is nothing but rage, and this all happened in the span of a year. So, oh jeez, look at that statue. These statues are so disturbing.
The Magister needs more power for his rituals.
Yeah,
Come forth and...
that's actually another name I remember. Linnea was one of the... She's like the one that was like, no, we're gonna do what we want at the tavern, I think.
Alexius Lucius can't have wanted this.
I'm sorry I'm so quiet right now, but dang. That's all I can think is just dang. Technically I can think other things, but I gotta keep it PG-13, you know? I saw a supply cache, so... Supply caches replenish your potions, so if you know there's a supply cache about to go up, go ahead and pop a few potions. I should have topped myself off. I'm actually missing a tiny little sliver. And then get the supply cache, because you can only use each one once, so...
The breach hits!
Holy...
Used to be, it was only dwarves who were afraid of the sky. Now, it's just good sense.
Alright, so where am I dispelling? I don't see anywhere I can get to. I'll just get that one, I suppose. Oh, geez, close it, close it. I almost forgot. Man, things are just getting really intense. Another rift, really? Dang. I think I can get those two. I just hope I'm fast enough for that. Yeah, looks like it. Close the rift. Close the rift. Sorry I keep looking up at it, it's just... It's everywhere. Upper Royal Wing. You got a note. Nothing worse. Okay. So basically the breach itself is why time magic works, and he can't go back to before the breach. So
No!
oh geez.
Why did he do that? We could have helped him.
We will help him, by making sure this never happens. He resisted that demon to the last.
So basically, he just burned up. Okay. Well. Supply
What
cache.
became of Felix? Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And you're not going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
It doesn't sound... It sounds really foreboding, Leliana. That's not what I want to hear. I'm gonna save one of these VTARs so I can show you on Iron Bull. That's a lot of enemies in this room. Some taunt. I can't close or disrupt that rift. What's killing Varric? Dang it, I wasn't fast enough. I kind of hit the wrong button there and interrupted my spell. I need a way to reduce my own cooldowns. Because my guys need me to taunt this thing and I can't. Improved stability operation available.
This is the way to the main hall. Alexius will likely be there.
What in Andraste's name is that? Hold on to it. I want to look at it later.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go through this door. Because it seems like there's... I'm guessing that's for the red lyrium shards this way, but...
Are they praying? Let's try to take the place.
Get down. Get back down. Oh, hello.
Venatori severance package stinks.
So yeah, I was right. It wanted me to come up here for the red lyrium shard. Which, as we know, thanks to Varric, is actually a bad thing to go after. Oh, okay, there is a chest over here. I was starting to wonder if there was going to be actually anything in this room. Okay, well, let's get out of here. I really wish there was an actual heal spell. So I wouldn't have to use my potions to heal all the time. I mean, I guess it's not really that tedious or that much of a problem. I'm making it sound worse than it is. Gosh. I don't want to go to the end of the story right now, so...
How much damage did Alexis' spell do?
Rifts tore apart all of southern Thedas, starting here. But whether that's his doing or the breach, who can say?
That is definitely a boss door. So, I'm gonna actually go up this way. I'll come back for that supply cache, actually. I've still got plenty of potions. I'd rather not use it right now. What do we got? Schematic. Masterwork Waveblade. Okay. Some cloth and stone. Taken down. And another red lyrium shards. What do we got here? Studies on the blight. Versus Rarely. What? I don't like the sound of that at all. I mean, it's come to be pretty obvious what it is that Felix got sick with. Obviously, he got a blight infection from the Darkspawn, but yeah, I don't like the sounds of that. And I frankly don't like the sounds of any of it, but especially that. It sounds like I might be fighting some kind of giant flesh monster. I don't like giant flesh monsters.
They're right there. Perhaps we should try to find another way in.
Nope. I'm just gonna go right in and murder them. That would be a great time for your whirlwind there, Liliana.
Have mercy on your soul. No one else will.
I need to get better about using my taunts just to generate rate or guard. Because my guard, you saw I ran out of guard and my health dropped. I gained so much armor just from having guard active. What's through here? Oh, supply cache, convenient. Since we saw that one on the first floor. We're gonna go ahead and use this one. Oh, I could have gotten him some health too. Oh well. That tiny little sliver of health he's missing shouldn't make a difference. You know what to do, Varric. Open the door. Oh. Okay. Oh, then what's through this door? Go in there.
Somebody had very questionable taste. Try to take out that enchanter quickly.
Yeah.
Block them from coming up the stairs! I could really go for some light reading.
I gotta admit, I don't really like Dorian's quips. They're in the way. That might be an upgrade. So it's not one for me, but is it for Cassandra? Yes, it is. She cannot use it. See, that's how I should have done those other fights. But it's not how I did them. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but did.
Let's head back to the main hall. I think I know how we'll open that door.
By pressing F and opening the door. Pretty much what my plan was. So, go ahead and make sure everyone is topped off. Because like I said, that is a boss door, if ever I've seen one. Okay.
Look at what you've done, Alexius. All this suffering. And for what?
For my country, for my son. But it means nothing now. I knew you would appear again. Not that it would be now, but I knew I hadn't destroyed you. My final failure.
Was it worth it? Everything you did to the world, to yourself.
It doesn't matter now. All we can do is wait for the end.
What do you mean? What's ending?
The irony that you should appear now, of all the possibilities. All that I fought for, all that I betrayed, and what have I wrought? Ruin and death, that is nothing else. The Elder One comes for me, for you, for us all. Felix.
That's Felix. Maker's breath, Alexius, what have you done?
He would have died, Dorian. I saved him. Please, don't hurt my son. I'll do anything you ask.
Hand over the amulet and we let him go.
Let him go and I swear you'll get what you want.
I want the world back.
I kind of figured that's what was gonna happen. Just after her earlier comments and such, she seemed to have lost it, so...
So much for the mighty Inquisition!
Get up. Oh man, I am slowed. Fade rift. Disrupted! Out of the way, Varric. Yes, I used that to generate free guard. Oh man, I'm slowed down right now. Another rift. I need to get aggro on these. Oops. Come on. What now? Nope.
He wanted to die, didn't
Staff of Saces and
lies
gold
he
out.
told himself, the justifications. He lost Felix long ago. Didn't even notice. Oh, Alexius.
This Alexius was too far gone, but the Alexius in our time might still be reasoned with.
I suppose that's true. This is the same amulet he used before. I think it's the same one we made in Minrathous. That's a relief. Give me an hour to work out the spell he used, and I should be able to reopen the rift.
An hour? That's impossible. You must go now. The Elder One.
You'll have to hurry. This is bad. We'll hold the main door. Once they break through, it's all you, Nightingale.
No, I won't let you commit suicide.
Look at us. We're already dead. The only way we live is if this day never comes. Cast your spell. You have as much time as I have hours. Though darkness closes, I am shielded by flame. Andraste, guide me. Maker, take me to your side.
You move, and we all die!
What kind of wood is that bow made out of?
You'll have to do better than that.
Put aside all claim to Redcliffe and we let you live.
You won. There is no point extending this charade. Felix.
It's going to be all right, Father.
You'll die.
Everyone dies.
Well, I'm glad that's over with. Or not.
Grand Enchanter, imagine how surprised I was to learn you'd given Redcliffe Castle away to a Tevinter Magister.
King Alistair.
Especially since I'm fairly sure Redcliffe belongs to Arl Tegan.
Your Majesty, we never intended...
I know what you intended. I wanted to help you. But you've made it impossible. You and your followers are no longer welcome in Ferelden.
But we have hundreds who need protection. Where will we go?
I should point out that we did come here for mages to close the breach.
And what are the terms of this arrangement?
Hopefully better than what Alexius gave you. The Inquisition is better than that, yes?
I suggest conscripting them. They've proven what they'll do given too much freedom.
I've known a lot of mages. They can be loyal friends if you let them. Friends who make bad decisions, but still loyal.
It seems we have little choice but to accept whatever you offer.
On the one hand, I know Cassandra wants this answer, but I have to agree with Varric. They've been good for me before, and I got Solus, he's an apostate, and I don't see him going evil anytime soon.
We would be honored to have you fight as allies at the Inquisition's side.
We'll discuss this later.
I'll pray that the rest of the Inquisition honors your promise then.
The breach threatens all of Thedas. We cannot afford to be divided now. We can't fight it without you. Any chance of success requires...
Oh, jeez.
I'd take that offer if I were you. One way or another, you're leaving my kingdom.
We accept. It would be madness not to. I will gather my people and ready them for the journey to Haven. The breach will be closed. You will not regret giving us this chance.
And here for a moment, I'm like, oh, well, that's not too bad. I only gained progress with Solus, and then just disapprove, greatly disapprove. Oh, man. That's going to take a while to work back. Greatly disapprove is like minus 20. Whereas regular approve is plus 5.
It's not a matter for debate. There will be abominations among the mages, and we must be prepared.
If we rescind the offer of an alliance, it makes the Inquisition appear incompetent at best, tyrannical at worst.
What were you thinking, turning mages loose with no oversight? The veil is torn open.
Give them their freedom for now. If they prove later they can't handle it, impose restrictions.
And how many lives will be lost if they fail? With the veil broken, the threat of possession. You were there, Seeker. Why didn't you intervene?
While I may not completely agree with the decision, I support it. The sole point of the Herald's mission was to gain the mage's aid, and that was accomplished.
The voice of pragmatism speaks. And here I was, just starting to enjoy the circular arguments.
Closing the breach is all that matters.
Closing the breach will require a lot of magic, and that means lyrium. I have contacts who can help.
Contacts meaning smugglers? Send them word. We need every advantage.
We have legitimate lyrium supply lines already.
And they don't need to hear of this.
Keep it under the table, and I'll do what I can to quiet rumors.
We should look into the things you saw in this dark future. The assassination of Empress Celine. A demon army.
Sounds like something a Tevinter cult might do. Orlais falls, the Imperium rises. Chaos for everyone.
One battle at a time. It's going to take time to organize our troops and the mage recruits. Let's take this to the war room. Join us. None of this means anything without your mark, after all.
Thank you. I'd be honored to help with the plan.
Meet us there when you're ready.
I'll skip the War Council, but I would like to see this breach up close, if you don't mind.
Then you're staying?
Oh, didn't I mention? The South is so charming and rustic. I adore it to little pieces.
There's no one I'd rather be stranded in time with, future or present.
Excellent choice. But let's not get stranded again anytime soon, yes?
I'll begin preparations to march on the summit. Make her willing, the mages will be enough to grant us victory.
Okay, where's Dorian? Because dang, that was a quest, I have to say. That was very entertaining. I enjoyed that. That was terrifying. Who am I kidding? That was terrifying. Let's look at what this staff and staff of stasis. It's not a very strong staff. Especially not compared to this. I mean, I guess it's better than what Dorian is using, but... Holy Why didn't I stop using double dagger rogue? Jesus! Okay, so that's even better than Solus's staff. So I'm going to do some reading and decide which caster I want, because I didn't actually know about Dorian. I mean, I sort of saw him in the last episode, but I didn't know if I'd actually keep him. It's 5% cooldown modifier. Cloak or neck piece am I using? Well, willpower? Yeah, I'm going to use the cooldown amulet. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'll do a little bit of reading into Dorian, see if I might want to keep him around.
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Halamsharal? Cows milking farmers?
I take it you don't agree.
On the contrary, I approve. Heartily. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
What would be wrong with that exactly?
Nothing, at first. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed, by inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
We're gonna get out
Have
right
you
and
managed
ask
to
this
see
time.
Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew. Did you know we're actually related, Inquisitor?
Related?
Oh, not first cousins or anything like that. Can you imagine? You're a Trevelyan, however, and somewhere in the dank nethers of my family tree, there was also a Trevelyan. Perhaps he was even the one who ventured to Ostwick to establish the branch. We are talking long ago, of course.
See, I don't want to flirt with him, even if he does have a very nice mustache.
So, maybe the lower middle or thereabouts. Bloodlines are serious business in Tevinter. You're taught lessons and tested by strict nannies. I heard your family mentioned, and I had to go through all the old mnemonics, but yes, there it is. I knew there was a reason we looked so much alike.
Yay?
Indeed, yay!
I just...
Oh, pish. You go back far enough. 90% of Thedas has Tevinter blood. No need to panic, Inquisitor.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
Stop giving me obvious flirt options.
You certainly think highly of yourself.
It's true. I could be more modest, but I'd be lying. Now,
I don't know, I'm starting to like Dorian.
ah yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see?
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems... So much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care. Deeply. About everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some Magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I'd like to ask
I like Dorian. I gotta admit, if I can bring him along, like I said, I'm gonna research, see who I like more.
Fascinated by it. Probably why they come up with so many ridiculous tales. Flying cows over Minrathous. That's madness. All right, that one's actually true, but the cows didn't have wings. I digress. Anything in particular you wanted to know?
Just how often is blood magic used there?
Oh, not at all.
Not at all.
That's what any Magister would tell you. They'd be convincingly offended by the notion too. Of course, what people call blood magic here, and what we consider blood magic, are two different things.
What's considered actual blood magic in Tevinter?
Blood magic isn't inherently dangerous. Using your own blood or that of a willing participant, what's the harm? The problem is that what's permitted only gets you so much power. And what if you need more? You always need more. That's where we get into sacrifices and demon summoning. None of that is done. Not officially. Behind closed doors, it's a different story. Real blood magic can give you an edge, a leg up against your opponents. It's safe to assume that any mage of rank does it. The rest are quietly shut out of power, to put it bluntly.
You'd think the Templars would object.
I imagine they did, long ago. Once, their investigations might have been sincere. Then their balls were cut off. Too inconvenient. Nowadays, only the friendless are accused. And most of them probably innocent.
There must be some mages who oppose this.
Of course. I do. And I'm not entirely alone. Occasionally, there'll be a Magister who makes noise. And then the reform talk begins. All very patriotic. Meanwhile, that Magister will be quietly shunned. Chances are, surprise, it's learned he was a Maleficar all along. Most learn to keep quiet. Me? I enjoy the allure of pariahhood.
Anyone who talks about the Imperium mentions slavery. It's the center of the slave trade.
Ah. That is true.
And did you have slaves?
Not personally, but my family does and treats them well. Honestly, I never thought much about it until I came south. Back home, it's how it is. Slaves are everywhere. You don't question it. I'm not even certain many slaves do.
Well, we don't have slaves in the south.
In the south, you have alienages, slums, both human and elven. The desperate have no way out. Back home, a poor man can sell himself. As a slave, he could have a position of respect, comfort, and could even support a family. Some slaves are treated poorly, it's true. But do you honestly think inescapable poverty is better?
Is that what you call it? Treated poorly?
Abuse heaped upon those without power isn't limited to Tevinter, my friend. I don't know what it's like to be a slave, true. I never thought about it until I saw how different it was here. But I suspect you don't know either. Nor should you believe that every tale of Tevinter excess is the norm.
It seems strange that an entire empire would be ruled by mages.
I find it strange that your mages don't rule anything at all.
Actually, the fiction in the Imperium is that mages don't rule. The Magisterium rules. That Magisters are all mages is considered a convenient technicality.
What is the Magisterium, exactly?
The upper house of the Imperial Senate, and the only part worth having a seat on. Those seats are split among the circles of Magi, the Chantry, and the major families. All mages now. It's odd that outside the Imperium, you use Magister like it applies to every Tevinter mage.
If you're not a Magister, then what are you called? No special title?
I'm an Altus, which is almost as good as a Magister, depending on who you ask.
I've never heard of an Altus.
Upper class. Those families who trace descent from the Dreamers, the first prophets of the old gods. If you're a mage and you're not Altus, then you're later. Lower class. If you're not a mage at all, you're Soperati. That's everyone else. We do love our fancy words.
I thought the Archon ruled over the Imperium.
Well, yes. Technically, he can overrule laws passed by the Magisterium, but that never happens. Even so, he gets to appoint new Magisters, which means all the families vie madly for his favor. Thus, the Archon gets invited to all the parties. The truest path to Tevinter influence, let me tell you.
If it's a fiction, that means mages do rule then.
Yes and no. Let me put it this way. Mages do rule, but not all mages are equal. If you're not from the right family, chances are you don't rule anything. Maybe you're even a slave. The idea that anyone could be a mage, however, keeps the masses placated.
Can anyone be a mage?
Technically. The potential runs mostly in bloodlines, but it's been known to happen. More importantly, commoners believe it can. Tevinter legend is chock full of mage heroes from humble origins. So they hold out hope. Someday my son or my son's son will be a mage. Someday. Poor sods don't realize that means he'll be a quaestor at the arse end of the 100 Pillars, at best.
Being a quaestor isn't a good thing.
I imagine the average non-mage likes to think so. Counting numbers and shuffling papers all day is better than many occupations after all. If you're a second-class citizen among a pack of piranha, however, your outlook changes.
Let me ask you something else.
Of course.
There's an Imperial Chantry, isn't there? With its own divine.
You people aren't supposed to talk about the Black Divine, are you? If you mention him outside the Imperium, people make that face, like you're urinating in public. But yes, we do have the Chantry, or a version of it. Night and day comparing it to yours.
Is the Imperial Chantry so different from ours?
Not in theory. The main difference is in the whole magic is meant to serve man, not rule over him business. Back home, ruling the unwashed masses is serving them, for the good of the Imperium. Perhaps it started with good intentions, but these days it's academic. The circles are in command.
There are circles of magi in the Imperium.
We don't have dismal little mage prisons, if that's what you mean. They're academies, prestigious ones. We have Templars as well, but they don't cancel spells or whatever your Templars do. They're soldiers. They watch for abuse of magic, yes, but only those who are weak or who fall out of favor get dealt with. Mostly they enforce the Magisterium's edicts. The Chantry smiles and nods from the sidelines.
Do you really call him the Black Divine?
We don't call him that, oh no. In the Imperium, he's the true divine. The woman sitting on the Sunburst throne is some backwater pretender. It all stems from a disagreement over Andraste. Marvelous, isn't it?
Why would they disagree over Andraste?
It's not my field of expertise, but the Imperium believes Andraste was a mortal woman, a mage. Down south, they say, no, she's the bride of the Maker, ascended to his side, divine provenance, a blah blah blah. We feel better believing Andraste was one of us. Makes executing her less damning, you see. So we elected a man as divine, the South declared war, and we've been feuding cousins ever since.
So, the Imperial Divine is always a man?
All the better to distinguish him from that other one, yes. Don't think there aren't a number of female magisters who bristle at that. Why can't they be divine after all? Same reason you never see a man on the Sunburst throne. Because that's how it's always been done. Excellent reasoning.
Do you consider yourself Andrastian?
The big question. It might surprise you that I do consider myself Andrastian. I simply do not believe in the Chantry. It is a relic, whether back home or here in the south. Something from a bygone age desperately clinging to relevance. It's not an opinion that makes me popular.
I disagree. I don't think the Chantry's irrelevant.
Not to most, no. Perhaps just to me. I'll say this. I may not believe in the Chantry, but I believe in you.
In me?
That the Maker sent you, whether through Andraste or fate. Cassandra is not wrong. You are what we needed most at the moment we needed it. That's what they will say in ages to come.
You don't seem like the religious sort, to be honest.
That's not at all what I would have expected that to say.
Chantry and listening to a blithering hen tell you how to live, then no. If you define it as believing in the possibility that something larger than yourself exists, then yes, by all means. The world is bigger than I, even bigger than you. It laughs at all the things we think we know. The Maker doesn't need me to believe, but I do. The thought of no one at all watching out for us is too frightening.
Let me ask...
So many questions.
I'm wondering if the Imperium would be a useful ally.
I'd think you'd be more concerned whether or not they'd support the Venatori. They won't. At least, not officially. They'll disavow all knowledge of dangerous cultists. Secretly, many Magisters will rejoice at the idea. And if the South falls to chaos in the meantime, all the better.
It would be in the Imperium's best interest to help. Surely it could use allies.
I think the Imperium gave up on the idea of allies a long time ago. We've been fighting the Qunari for what, 200 years off and on? It's a point of pride that we go it alone. They'll sneer at the South behind their silk handkerchiefs and say, "You've had it easy for far too long." Let's not forget that the Inquisition seems to be an arm of the Orlesian Chantry. Anathema so far as they're concerned.
We're not part of the Chantry. The Chantry opposed the Inquisition's formation.
You think that matters? Don't be silly. The Herald of Andraste. Your very title smacks of the Southern Chantry. You may as well be a heathen. I think they're far more frightened what you'll do if you succeed.
That's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
I should go.
You know, Rob?
Now I just want to talk to him one more time? Okay, so I did not get a quest from him. When I do my research on him a little later, I'll see if I get a quest off of him. And I want to talk to Blackwall to give him the things real quick, but I'm a little more curious if Alexius actually is in the prison. Because if so, that'd be kind of cool.
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter,
That still has to be so painful to just bash your head against that. Yeah, Alexius. Well, maybe he's not in here after all. That's a shame. It'd be kind of cool if I could come down here and talk to him. You know what? I wonder if my companions have new things to talk about after that story quest. I will check Cassandra real quick. And then I'll talk to Blackwall. Since I did manage to gain a few minutes, I do have a couple things I have to take care of shortly, but...
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin. And my miners appreciate you. That mercenary band that joined the Inquisition.
Let's see what we got down here. We're going to try talking to Cassandra. Just to see if she has anything to say about what happened. Because I did do a pretty major story quest. If it's going to give me any time to... Yeah. To update...
Now what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it.
That seems like a really odd angle.
It never ends, evidently.
Is there an issue with the mages? Can I help?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
We got a flirt option. Gotta take it.
I'm not. This always happens. Nobody ever takes my meaning.
You should see your face.
I'm thinking less flattering things now. Let's hope the breach has your sense of humor.
Ouch. I'm sorry, I have to follow that up with trying to talk to her again. That was just great. Alright, so let's go chat with Blackwall real quick. I wonder how many of my companions will have updated dialogue.
Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it. I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
You've proven yourself to be an honorable woman. Principled. I've great admiration for you, and I've never been more certain in my decision to join you.
There will be opportunities for us to do even more in the future.
Then I look forward to it.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
You already know what I think of your forces. I'm not sure what else there is to say.
Okay, so he didn't really have anything to talk about with the whole events of the mage quest. I'm gonna see if it might just be Cassandra that had an update. Let's check Colin. Figure if anyone might be Colin.
The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
I know you're worried about having the mages here. Give them a chance to prove themselves.
I'm not questioning their ability or their intentions, but we cannot ignore the risks. I will not endanger the alliance you've created. We need their help. Any precautions taken will be to ensure the safety of our people and the mages themselves. Nothing more.
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the charges on our side. Bull's men are professionals, despite evidence to the contrary.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
Okay. So I'm thinking it might have just been Cassandra who had an updated comment to say real quick. You guys might end up missing out on a little bit of conversation, because I will check the others, but not right now and not over camera, because I gotta go. But whenever I interact with Cassandra, because she is the primary romance choice I'm going for, I will make sure it's on camera with you guys so you get to enjoy it just as much as I do. But for now, that'll be all for this episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Where's the breach? So much smaller than it was. But anyways, yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.